Hello, good morning to you. Many thanks for joining us. You're watching Galaxy today. It's a Thursday. It's the lifestyle edition. My name is Justin Akadanje, and I'm bid you welcome to the show.
Yeah, good morning too. I'm Uche Onyekulije. And of course, like you rightly said, it's the lifestyle show. And as usual, this is where we get to bear our minds concerning whatever it is, be it personal or even if it's not personal, this is where you can bear up to your mind. All right, on today's topic, we'll be looking at why men or why young men shy away from early marriage. I'm so happy we're dealing with this morning because I'm going to be starting with Justin. Why do men shy away from early marriage? I mean, what is the what fear? What makes you people don't want to marry early like we ladies do?
Who says men don't get married early? I know I have several yoga friends who got married before they were even 30. That's early enough, isn't it?
Okay, and for you, why?
All right, we'll be looking at the show today. That's what we're looking at the show this morning, and it promises to be very, very exciting. In as much as Uche is trying to bust my bubbles this morning, but I'm so not going to let her. So just feel free to participate in this discussion. You can send SMS if you have a question, if you want to contribute in one way or the other, or you can also interact with us on our social media platforms using the hashtag Galaxy Today. You can do that on Twitter, on Facebook, and of course on Instagram. All right, let's just dig right into the topic today. We have a life coach joining us this morning. Good morning, Uncle T. He's actually tired, Olushola. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Justin. It's been quite a while.
Good morning, Zai. So good to have you. Okay, I'm the only lady amongst men. One is married, one is unmarried. And so I'm sure it's going to be a balanced thing.
Sure.
Okay, because I want this guy married. I know he would be married, you know. And I'm wondering why young men shy away from early marriage. We get to hear ladies at 18, 20, 25, you know, getting married. But the men seems to be like, no, they develop cold feet, except if I'm wrong. So let's start with that. Why do they shy away from it?
Well, we actually need to find out if truly men actually shy away from getting married early. We need to also ask ourselves, how early is early?
That's a good question.
Yeah, how early is early? So, if you are talking about 20, if you're talking about between 20 and 25, okay, we could say that these days, rarely will you see a man at that age thinking about marriage. And the reason why it's so could be endless. There's so many reasons. Why? Probably because the understanding about what marriage really is and the responsibility that it entails is becoming so rare, visible to people. So people are really counting their cost. But if you look at it really, and you look at the economic situation, and you look at the fact that even on the women's side, things are changing. Women are becoming knowledgeable as it comes to the issue of marriage. So a man is looking at it, am I really set for this? And you have to think about the fact that nobody even gets married without butterfly in his tummy. It's something to be scared about. So the fear of failure is also there. Also, you look at the fact that as a man, at whatever age that you think is early, you consider yourself and you find out that you cannot even take care of yourself. Let alone coming now to take more loads.
So basically, when the issue of pressure from the parents arise, what should a young man be doing? For instance, a friend of mine says the parents are asking to go meet with the parents of his girlfriend. Although they have been going out for over a year, he's okay, fine. He's not that, okay, I don't know if I'll call him that young. He's about 33. And the dad was like, he's the last right now, like, so, in English, my son, what are you waiting for? You know, he feels that he should be settling down right now because according to them, I mean, he's mature enough to be with a wife. I mean, you talked about economy, you talked about education on the part of both the man and the woman. So what is changing? When your parents are persuading you, even putting pressure on you to get married, and you feel you are not ready, what should you be doing?
Well, you need to explain to them. Another thing I want to say about men shying away is because majority of them are really afraid. I have one in my hand that said, honestly, I'm not sure I want to enter into what I'm about to enter.
What are they scared?
The truth is that he's not ready. He feels he's not ready. He feels
that commitment.
Yes, that's where I'm going. He feels he's not ready to be responsible.
Yes.
You see, he feels he's not ready to join his life with somebody. He feels he's not ready to be accountable to somebody. You understand? And he also lacks the understanding of what marriage is all about. So when the parents are actually asking him that what are you waiting for? He's still looking at himself that I still have a lot of preparation to make. I feel I'm not ready. Such a person actually needs to be sat down and be asked, what exactly are those things? Because he may be setting unrealistic expectations.
What if these goals are genuine and they are cogent? For instance, he has some plans that he's laid ahead of himself.
Yeah.
He feels that, okay, fine, I just want to be done with my master's program.
Good.
I just want to be sure that I've been able to take care of myself before I bring a woman to join me. I want to be sure that at least I have a roof over my head and I'm still not sporting with my friends. These are issues that, because for instance, now this person in question, okay, fine, he had an apartment somewhere outside, but because of some reasons, he's not staying with a sister. But the parents are insisting that he should move back to another town where he was. What should he be doing?
The truth is that, number one, let me say that no parent, nobody should force anybody to go and get married. Why? Because there's what we call go and get married syndrome outside there. And if anybody is not set to get married, it is not the best to force anyone to go get married. So if you actually set a goal, let me give an example of myself.
Yes.
My wife wanted us to get married at a particular year, and I was still in school. So I told her, I'm going to finish school, I'm going to serve, and I'm going to work only 1 year. I set a goal for myself. And as soon as I achieved that goal, I got married. So such a man needs to be encouraged. If truly he wants to get married, there are basic things that you need to have. A roof over your head, a constant income. You understand?
No matter how little.
Yes, no matter how little, a constant income. And the fact that you are ready.
Okay, now, but some people feel that being ready has to be like, let me come from this angle. There's some things you can't calculate down.
Yeah.
It's just like you can't, there's some bills you can't say, I want to build up to a point where I know I can send my children to the university, even when you've not had kids yet, you're not married yet. Now, some bills are as they come, you tackle them. Now, but what do you say to men who believe or who thinks that some things has to be in place? Some people think I have to get to a very, very comfortable position. When I mean comfortable, a position where it looks like in today's world, it looks like even if my wife isn't working, I should be able to fund whatever it is, pay bills, try to afford some kind of luxury. You know, those kind of things that you feel they could come by in marriage. They could come by.
That is where I'm going to talk about another reason why people don't
get married. Okay.
Because they don't understand what marriage is all about.
Okay, maybe you should break it down and explain what marriage is about.
You see, marriage is something that is not mandatory.
Okay.
It's a choice.
The parents understand that.
Yeah. Your parent doesn't have to understand that. Because they feel they give back to you, you need to give back to somebody.
Yes.
And the process of giving back to somebody is that you should first get married. Yeah. You understand? But those are changing now. Go outside there. You'll find that people are not even waiting to get married before they have children any longer. You and I understand that. So when you talk about marriage, a man needs to understand that. Have you been able to take care of yourself? Then are you ready to build a home? When you know that you are ready to build a home, because it's not just about manhood, it's not just about husbandhood. There's a point you get to that you get to fatherhood. So all these things are responsibility. Are you ready for it? So when you know you are ready for it, then you ask yourself, what are the requirements? The truth is that when you come together with a woman in a marriage setup, it's not about what you have. It's about what you have and what she has. That you, the two of you, there are so many dynamics in marriage. There is the team dynamics, where the two of you come together as a team. And the person that is more skillful in a particular thing handles it. The one that is better in a task and do it. Yeah. So when you look at those dynamics and you know that you are coming to gain an economy of scale, synergy, to move on ahead in life, there's something that the woman or the man that you are joining your life to is capable of helping you to gain ground and to gain more room. Yeah. So when you understand that, you will know that it's not about you. What of when you get into that marriage and you suddenly lose your job? How do you move on? Yes. That is why we call the wife the helpmeet. So if you are thinking about you have to be the all in all, then you are not even set for marriage, because what you are coming to do is you are coming to dominate. But marriage is not about dominating, it's about serving one another.
Okay, but what are those things you must look at? Because I think a whole lot of people get it all wrong. They feel marriage is about, okay, I've attained a particular age, it's time to be married, or it's time to get married. What are those things a man needs to look out for so that you don't become unrealistic?
Very good. You have to be matured age-wise. You have to be matured emotionally. You have to be mature financially. You have to be mature socially. You understand? It's all about maturity. And it has nothing to do with age, as in you have to be 40. I tell people, if you say you are 40, you are mature to be married, it's time for you to get married. I will tell you, it's not because you are 40. It is when you have lived 40 years with a woman, it is then I will believe that you are mature. Because it takes so much, not even the love. It takes so much knowledge. Because this woman was brought up by a different value, different from yours. Okay. Do you understand communication? Do you understand how to manage the situation where the finance is not enough? There's so much into it. But like I said, you have to be mature. There's a particular age that you should be, not in terms of the figure, but mature age. If you talk about the woman's side, I can't say a 9-year-old lady is mature. But when you talk about 18, she can carry pregnancy.
I still want us to stay on the money aspect. So I'm going to read,
money aspect, okay.
Yes, what Tengo Patrick wrote from Yola. He says, good morning, Galaxy Television. The main reason is financial constraint because you must be financially responsible before you can get married. Looking at this statement that he just mentioned, and of course the scenario I painted about my friend whose parent is asking him to go and for them to go and meet with the girlfriends and parents. One of the reasons he mentioned to me is that his income has not really been, too stable. Fine. He's into his own private practice, and lately they've been having low seasons and all that. So he feels he doesn't want to start making uncertainties. But the parents now came with the whole idea is that don't worry, we will fund it. Is that enough?
It's not enough.
The wedding.
It's not
Fund
enough.
the wedding.
It's not about the wedding. It's about the marriage. If the man feels that his finance cannot carry the home, he should wait and build up his finance. All we will say is that let there be a steady income.
But please, I'd like us also to look at this. I mean, when you say you have to be financially capable.
Steady income.
Steady income. Now, because it could be relative. A steady income for some people is probably 400, 500,000 monthly. For some people, it could be 100. So for those who earn less, are we saying that not until they leave, they can get more than that, they can't plan that? Because I've seen people with 40,000, 50,000, and they've started a home.
Yeah.
So when you say steady income, and you have to be financially able, what exactly are you saying?
Let me explain. Every one of us goes different. You understand? If you have a steady income, you are working somewhere, or you have a trade that you are doing, and income is coming in, and you have a roof over your head. You see, it will be so sad that you are married and you are asked to go out of your house, and there's nowhere to keep your family as a man. So you must have a roof on your head. I like to use myself as an example. 1998, when I got married, My salary was 7,500 naira, 1998. You understand? I saved for 1 year. I was able to collect a 2-bedroom flat for 32,000 naira then. You may say that is not obtainable these days. But you know what is obtainable these days? If you are collecting 70,000, there's a way you can save to get a roof over your head, even if it is a self-contained or a room and a parlor or even a single room. It depends on what your goal is in life. So I didn't have bed in my house when I collected the 2-bedroom flat. There was no window blind. There was no sitting room chairs. You understand? There was no pot. There was nothing. I got that room. I knew my 7,500 naira is steady. And I got married. And my wife brought the window blind. She had a bed she was sleeping on. She brought it. And we started building our lives together.
From there.
You understand? So it depends on what your vision is. That's another reason.
Okay.
Men that lacks vision will be looking for great things to make their hands meet. But if you have a vision and you know where you are going, you don't mind starting small.
Okay.
Men of this today don't want to start small. They are how to impress people. And probably there's a high demand also from the other side, the female side.
Yes.
And you feel that you have to meet up with what their own expectations are. But for me at that particular time, I knew what I wanted. I knew I wanted to build a home. I knew I've gotten a woman who is ready to build with me. So I went ahead. 1998, 1999, there was no single car. We couldn't buy a car. There was no television. There was no video. I had to join a cooperative to buy the first set of video and electronics. And thief came and burgled away.
Whoa.
We forgotten about it. We kept up. I bought my first car year 2000. 2 years after marriage. And we start building everything.
Okay.
And the story has changed.
So
what I'm saying is that have a vision
Okay.
of your marital destiny.
Yes.
Plan it. Pray for somebody who fit into that vision, who will understand where you are going. Because I told my own wife where we are going. And she believed it. And she's not surprised that we are where we are today. Because I told her where we were going.
Okay, Uncle T, let's look at some other issues. You know, aside from money, other men, they have given several reasons why they feel they cannot really trust one woman enough, you know, to live the rest of their lives with her. Over time, it must have been issues they have, that have affected them emotionally, lots of heartbreaks, lots of disappointment, and right now they are finding it difficult believing that a woman can actually truly love them for who they are. How do you address that issue?
Well, every one of us have had memories of the past and experiences. And you see, our experiences of the past has a way of stampeding itself on our present to make us feel that situations are always the same. The fact that you have had one experience or the other does not mean that you should generalize. You understand? All women are not the same. If you can't trust a woman, then you have a limiting belief inside you that, and that's what I call self-sabotage. You are the one sabotaging yourself because you are looking at every relationship as being the same. So all you need to do is actually for you to meet a therapist who you will sit down with and you will explain why you feel that you are afraid of getting into another relationship because of a broken heart that you have experienced in the past. The truth is that you need to be healed, and there are processes of healing. And the truth is that you can meet a wonderful woman who will definitely give you another experience that will be better than the experience you have had before. Not everybody experiences a broken of heart or being jilted, but the truth is that if it happens to you, you've got to move on. Because if you keep on doubting that you will ever get a good wife, then you will never make a step. And the truth is that the wife that is going to be good, you have a responsibility to make her good.
Exactly.
What you call your wife is what your wife becomes. It's not about how to deal with. Some people will tell you that if I live with the devil in the house, I will master the devil. It shows that every human being has one defect or the other. We are not perfect. But when we come together, there's a kind of influence we have on each other, and we are all good together.
Okay, so how do I address the issue of peer pressure and then maybe companies now? Because I realize that some people, it's simply because of where they are, middle of the people they are. I mean, we know that, okay, I could say I'm a friend of Justin, we have a clique, and because we are in that clique, there's just this orientation we have. How do you break away from things like that that has a way of restricting you from actually probably taking this bold step? Because we know it happens.
Yeah.
It does happen.
Right.
How do you break away from that?
Well, a simple statement is that when you change, things change around you. You can't walk with the wise and remain foolish. The company of the fool shall be destroyed. He that walk with the wise shall be wise. The truth, if you stay with people who are not willing to get married, I doubt if you want to get married because we have the same orientation. You need to hear a better thing. You need to hear, you need to have a new vision before you can take any other step. So you need to change your circle of friendship or your circle of influence.
Okay.
Or you need to come across a higher knowledge that can break you free from such or else. Not even men, even women.
Yeah.
If you find yourself in a gang of people who don't believe, there's a popular one going on now, they don't need a man to be pregnant. And a lot of people are falling. They just go for donor. And they have their child and they live alone. So they transfer all the love they will have put on a man to the child.
Okay. Mukhtar Suleiman Makodi from Katsina State is saying that early marriage is very difficult for those that don't have anything to be able to make responsibilities, for their family. Okay, let us look at something else, because before we talk about marriage, the precursor to all of it is the wedding. And that is one of those things that most of the men always...
Looks like it's a true confession from Justin.
The wedding.
Okay, I'm building a bridge here. So most of them just talk about the wedding, and it's always like an impediment for them because they feel they have to really plan a good wedding and they have to save up to make that wedding memorable. Most times because of what the woman wants, because after all, my friends had this level of wedding, so I shouldn't have anything less. So most men would like, okay, fine, the list, I'm getting married to an Igbo lady, they want to rip me dry because of the list I have to do for the mother, for the father, for the kinsmen. Now, those are issues some men consider, and they don't want to get into the weddings first before the marriage begins.
The truth is that have they discussed it with the person they want to get married to?
And what if the partner is demanding that way?
See.
For instance, personally, I would want to just go to the registry and come back and just give my friend stakeout and go home.
You can get a partner who wants that.
Yeah, it's
You
possible.
can get a partner who wants that. I'm telling you, see, these things, it depends on what you want. The truth is that some men don't even know what they want. You want to spend the rest of your life with a woman that you are not pretending to. You understand? And the woman knows who you are and what you have. And you both discuss. Is it the wedding you want or the marriage? Because the wedding will go, the marriage will remain. If you spend all the money, how much gift do they give people during wedding these days?
They don't even give
The most important thing is that you meet the family right.
Yes.
The dowry and everything they ask to bring. That is actually the real wedding.
But sometimes that in itself is really very expensive.
Yes, but it can be discussed. See, if you know you don't have something, stoop low to conquer. Wife forming. You can walk through your wife to discuss with your parents, the wife of your parent, the parents of your wife, and say, sir, I've seen where people negotiate and say, we don't have everything now, but we can do instrumental even while we are married. You understand? Because that is the most important thing. You shouldn't start your marriage on the ground of fight or quarrel. Because if you don't meet that obligation, it can be the beginning of war. So if you're able to do that, the next one is to go to registry. And the next one is to have the church blessing. Whether you do a party or not, I've seen where after the service, somebody was at the door and was giving takeaway back to people. You don't have to do reception, must you? It's cultural beliefs or society norms that put pressure on people to do it the way other people have been doing it. You know where you are going. That's why I'm saying vision keeps you focused. Lack of vision will make you to want to do things the way people do things. But when you have vision, you know what you are going for. When I was doing my wedding, it wasn't on a hall, it was on a field. But today, people who did wedding inside the hall, some of them succeeded, some of them are nowhere today. But what I'm saying, it's not the beginning of the thing that matters, it is how long you can maintain your marriage.
But can we look at the wedding itself now, particularly the dowry and all the condiments that comes with it? I mean, I've seen some cultures that are it looks as if they want to rip you off. And sometimes you go through the list. If you're reasonable, you find out that some of the requirements are really, really not necessary. Yeah. I've seen it with a list like a box of clothes for grandmother, and you're wondering, the grandmother is late. Who's going to wear this box of clothes? You know, so I like us to look at that, and then I'll go, yeah, because it's quite ridiculous. Yeah. What you should use to build or start up a home is what you are actually going to use to, you know. Now, and I've seen some lists where some parts of Nigeria are very interesting people. If the girl is a graduate, there's a list for it. If she's a master's degree holder, there's a, you know, I like us to look at that now. For a man who is interested in a lady from such background, like you said, discuss with the people. Fine. Yeah. But I've seen cases where, if I have a case where they've discussed, the parents are still stampeding on no, and then he decided to go ahead with the girl, they're living fine. I'm not saying it's good to do things without parental consent. But now, in a situation like that, where it looks like people want to start this slow, but then it looks as if the bride-to-be's and parents are quite demanding. Yeah. I mean, put myself in the shoes of a young man now. What do you expect him to do? This is someone who has given time and energy into a relationship. He feels this is my final bus stop. And all of a sudden, this hiccup is the reason. How do you expect him to handle it beyond discussion? Because these days what they are doing is, if your parents say no, let's just go ahead with our lives. Is that right? What do you tell this man? How do they go about this?
I will ask the young man and will-be wife to actually negotiate with the parent.
And there are cases where the wife does not have parent anymore. Probably it's her uncle.
Yes. See, there's nothing that cannot be negotiated and cannot be discussed. I wouldn't want anybody to elope with somebody else's daughter. Because you know what? You are heaping curse upon yourself. You understand? You will be fighting a battle you don't understand where it's coming from. So I will rather advise, call one person, call your pastor, call your parent, call your elders to appease them. It can be negotiated. And it can also be said, okay, we can't do this for now, we will do it later. I've seen some lists that are ridiculous, just like you said. But the truth is that it's an obligation to be met. If your wife is not willing to help you, then I doubt if that is a person you are supposed to marry. You understand? Because he should be able to tell his parents that my husband doesn't have all this. This is what we do. Where do we get this from? We just want to build our lives together. Is there anything you can give away for us so that we can build this and we can come back and do this later? I won't advise you elope with somebody else's daughter. It's not the best. You will be fighting a battle you understand. And number two, I feel that even when you know that you don't have the capacity, be truthful and say it. Go and meet the parent of your wife. And if you feel that you want to stay till you have the money to pay, then you can stay. It's your choice.
All right, Uncle T.
Because it's culture.
Choice.
And there's something about culture that has had so much grip on the way we do things around there. If we go into that now, you'll find out that the issue of culture has become so terrible that it's affecting the way we do things around there. And there's no way you can break it. If you say this is the way we do it in our place, you have to abide by it, or you find a way to mediate or to negotiate with them. Because I won't say you should, do away with somebody else's culture.
Just a follow-up question to that. I've heard couples say that all you need is the registry. Because even if you do the traditional wedding, that does not put you in the eye of the society that you're married until there is a certificate backing that up. So are you saying that regardless of what it is, it's important to have a traditional marriage?
Very, very. That is a true marriage.
Okay.
That is a true marriage. That's the one that shows the consent of the parents. The registry is the legal aspect of marriage. Because if anything happens, you will end up at the law court. You understand? And something must be tendered. That is the certificate that the registry will give you of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Also, a church that is licensed have the capacity to issue. But when you talk about the traditional marriage, that is where we all sit down and say, we are happy to give our daughter out. For me, that is the most important part.
So for clarity purpose, please, which means if I have the registry and I do not have the traditional, I'm as good as not married.
If you have, where is the pain of dowry? Where is the place of dowry? Which every one of us believe in, whether scriptural or cultural wise. The pain of dowry is that which says that the parents have given their consent to you to marry their daughter. The registry is just the legal aspect. Your parents may not even be there. They may not be with you in the registry. So who is giving you out?
All right. So we have messages from viewers and questions we will be dealing. But first up, we'll take a quick break and we'll comment them. Check out those messages and Uncle T will respond to every one of them. Do join us again at Still Galaxy today.
Walk on down, join together. Let no man put us on down. Walk on down, join together. Let no man put us on down. Music and talent are number one. And love is a beautiful thing.
Flip side, we
J-Man in the mix.
All right, Patience is a virtue. Music from Orisha Femi there. Just a reminder, viewers, that you can call in or even send an SMS if you want to be a part of this discussion. We'll display the number you can call us on shortly. Let me just take one or two messages before I start accepting your calls. In Nigeria, many young men think they need to make money first before they get married, because they wouldn't want to live in poverty. If any man think he will get many things before marriage, he should he forgets the work of God, because the Bible tells us that any man who finds a wife finds favor. All right. In my view, I think young men still have a long way to enjoy themselves. First, because once marriage is involved, there are some of enjoyment of movement that will be restricted. All right. This one says, my name is Pastor Emmanuel Eriba from Sokoto. Young men shy away from early marriage because of fear, the quest to acquire wealth before marriage, but I think it's better to marry and build a home gradually together. Good morning, I am Jamila from Kaduna State. Some young men shy from early marriage because of financial issues. Some men fall in love with girls from big background, and to pay for the bride price is a big issue. With all of this, they won't like to get married early. Good morning, I'm 35 years old. Ladies, don't last with me because I'm still with my parent. I don't have any means of income and a roof over my head, but I'm really ready to get married. What do I do? And someone called or sent me a message personally, which I'm not going to read. But Uncle Tyler, let us just talk about this man, the 35-year-old who still stays with the parents, and he is really very ready to get married. And women don't stay with him for long because he doesn't have the wherewithal. What should he be doing?
Is he working?
Mm-hmm.
I doubt if he's working.
Okay.
But he says he still stays with his parent. If you are not working, if you are not earning income, you are not ready.
Okay.
You're not ready. You don't have any business with marriage. It is when you are doing something. What's she helping you to come and do? From my own background, my wife is supposed to be my helpmate.
Okay.
From the faith I believe in. Until you are doing something that you need somebody to help you, you don't have any business calling somebody to come and help you. So what's he doing in his parents' house? You don't have any business staying in your parents' house if you know you are ready to get married, because you are not going to bring your wife into your parents' house. You have to start your own family. And I doubt if he's earning any income, because if he's earning income, you will have gone to get a house. Well, we see some other people that are earning income, but their parents still want them around. But that's another thing. You need to be able to break free from that emotional tie from your parent, because you're not going to get married to your parent. You're going to get married to a woman, and that woman wants you.
Okay, Uncle T, let's just take, sorry to break that train of thought, but we have a caller right now. Good morning to you. Where are you calling us from? And first off, are you married? If you're not, why do you think most men who are young are not ready to get married? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. I can hear you.
I got married last year, July 1st.
Okay.
Last month, my wife was divorced. Okay, I got married at the age of 34.
You got married at 32.
I don't know if it was a graduate, my wife is graduate. But when we started, we were living in a room. When I was coming towards the marriage, and from when we were starting to that, we got under the word, under the group. So that opened the money for the wedding thing. But before that, I was yet getting married because of what I was wearing, married with a new school, married with people from other schools. But you know what I got married at 32, I was just I would have gotten married earlier before then, maybe 26 or so. But I thought I was ready, but I was scared I was playing and playing life. But some of them I was regretting that I knew I had got married earlier. Because right now, after the marriage, I and my wife are living happily. I'm very grateful. I've never done a contract for a million before. I'm a contractor. I don't work with myself. My wife has not done anything, but to go to the day, I am the one carrying the family. I've never done a contract for the million. Today, the solution I give sometimes is people something is what they are doing for me today. It's not say that I went to drive anybody for God. It is prayer of my wife, so they are doing supporting the prayer and everything. Which God is looking for me, and I'm glad that I am doing it.
All right.
Everyone out there thinks, looking at them looking get married, because they are looking, because I said of get married, they get married, that means you get married and you're thinking.
All right, thank you so much for your
That's
comment. We do appreciate it. All right, keep the calls coming. The number is displayed on the screen. We'd love to hear from you why you think most men don't get married early. Uncle T, before we take the next caller, I want you to react to something else. Some people said one of the reasons men don't get married is because they will be restricted in so many ways. Do you see that as a cogent reason?
It depends on the things you feel you'll be restricted in. Like when I teach people about the fact that when you get married, it doesn't mean you're going to throw away all your friends. There are a lot of female friends I still keep. It depends on the kind of relationship you were building before marriage. Do you understand? If you are building illicit relationship, you know you don't have any hiding place. You have to leave that. But if you build healthy relationships, a lot of relationships that I had before I got married are still helping me today. So the truth is that marriage is going to take away some things from you.
Yes.
If you are married now, you can't keep late light any longer because you have a wife and children at home that you are going back home to come and meet. Okay. Because you just don't marry a wife to put her in the house. You need to talk to her. If you don't talk to her, she will die. She may not die physically, but a lot of things will die inside her because communication keeps one alive. So a lot of demand. In fact, I want to reckon with men who are running away from marriage because of their responsibility. Because there's so much demand on managing the home in terms of communication, in terms of setting the pace, in terms of direction, in terms of nurturing the home. So if you are not running away from that, for marriage because of that, when are you going to enter into? Because what you are running away from, you are still coming to eventually.
All right, just to remind the viewers, if you want to get through to us, just as much as possible, reduce the volume on your TV set. And then just keep it simple and just go straight to the point. You have a maximum of 90 minutes, 90 seconds to say what you have to say. Let's take this caller. Yeah, go ahead. What's your name? Where are you calling us from?
My name is Khadija. I'm calling from Kaduna.
Good morning to you, my sister. In your opinion, why do you think most young men lately don't get married on time?
I don't understand. I think it's from the parents sometimes because the parents sometimes don't want their son to get married to a girl who is not from the same background from them or like the same tribe.
Okay, you may want to call us back. She was calling from Kaduna and trying to explain her own reason or her own thought. We have yet another caller and some messages coming in. Good morning to you. What's your name? Where are you calling us from? Yeah, go ahead. Hello? Good morning. Can you be more audible? What's your name? Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling.
All right, go ahead.
Nothing more.
Financial constraint.
Yeah, it's financial constraint.
Okay.
He sent us the state court or his young man marriage without no job, nothing to see the family. I think that's the.
All right, thank you so much. You've made your point. How precise.
Please, I'd like him to say something about that financial constraint. People say financial constraint. Does it mean that there's no way out of this? Would you say because of financial constraint and then you just remain stagnant in life?
Like we have rightly said, what is financial constraint? Honestly, if you don't have a job, you don't have any business in getting married. If you don't have a job, if you're not earning income, how do you want to survive? You are a problem to yourself in the first instance if you are not earning income because you are finding it difficult to even maintain your own life. Now, if you bring another woman into your house and she's having children for you, how do you want to cope? You are bringing shame upon yourself. So I feel it will even be better for such a man to stay alone first. If I go by my faith that says it is not good for the man to be alone. The man. That means it's a specific man. Who is that man?
Adam.
The man. Not Adam. The man. The man is the man that is doing something. The man that is the man that is busy doing something. The man is the man that needs a help. So if you need a help for yourself, get help for yourself first.
Hello, good morning to you. Sorry, Uncle T. Let's take this caller. What's your name? Where are you calling us from? Yes, go ahead. Yes, we're talking about young men and refusal to get married on time. What's your opinion?
Okay. My name is Nanaoke. I'm calling based on information I'm giving for people. The reason why young ones are not getting married is because they are afraid. And they are thinking that to start and just to end. I can use myself as an example. I'm married at the age of 29 years. As I'm talking to you now, I have my first son. So when I get into marriage, when I was thinking to get married, I have nothing in my account, more than now, for the 2000 naira. So I meet my pastor, and my pastor gives me the encouragement to come. But when I started with you, because I had the permission to do that, I must not marry after marry, I must marry properly, same as I married and was right. But this man, God provides for me, and I do everything to him. Since I'm not going to they have never worked at anything. So the young ones, they should have the encouragement of settling down. It's no matter as a man to your account. I don't look at a man as a man to your account. The next person will make steps, God will surely provide for you.
All right. Thank you so much. We do appreciate your contribution this morning. All right. A lot of people are still talking about the place of financial constraint. Let's see what the scholar has to say. Good morning to you. I think we lost that. You can try and call us back. We will take your call. All right. Good morning to you. What's your name? Where are you calling us from? Don't flash. Just send an SMS if you can call, or just interact with us on our social media platform. Meanwhile, marriage is a contract for a lifetime. It only succeeds if both parties love, trust, and are truthful to each other and live for themselves. They must have a vision and must contribute to the purpose selflessly to the success. When myself and my wife married, we agreed to be separated. Okay, I don't even understand. May I want to paraphrase and rewrite so we can get a clear sense of what you're saying. Why young men shy away from early marriage? To me, it cuts across different reasons. Some family of the proposed brides delegates too much financial responsibility on the men, and moreover, family of most brides believe as they give their daughters to you, it is an investment. They keep hanging on your nerves financially until death. Uncle T, I want you to address that.
Until death?
Yes.
Well, he said some families.
Yes, some families, not all
so
families.
That's true for some based on culture. But for me,
yes,
or for most parts of this country that I belong to, we even make the man to understand that we are not selling our own daughter because you cannot place value in terms of monetary value on our daughter. So I've heard that some people do that. But the truth is that it depends on what you and your wife decide to do. If you have the means of meeting their needs, their requests, they will always place requests. They may even give you somebody to train or to send to school. If you have the means, you could do that. But if you don't have the means, you can, politely let them know that you don't have the means now. So you are not under obligation to be their alpha and omega for life.
Hello, good morning to you. What's your name? Where are you calling us from?
Good morning, my name is Fidel. I'm calling from the Yanakaja.
Go ahead. Turn down the volume on your TV set.
I'm calling from the Yanakaja.
All right, if you must get through to us, remember to turn off or turn down the volume on your TV set so we can hear you and you hear us clearly, so we don't get feedbacks as we are doing right now. Good morning to you. Where are you calling us from?
Good morning, I'm calling from Lagos.
What's your name?
My name is
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I think one mention is an early marriage because of fear.
Because of what?
Fear.
Fear.
It's not a fear. We have that fear that would I be able to do this? Would I be able to take care of my wife? Would I be able to be faithful? Would I be able to cater for my children? It's just a fear. So if you're able to kill the fear
Thank you so much. We do appreciate your comment. All right, Uncle T, she says it's because of fear.
Yeah, which I mentioned. And I told you of recent, a young man still called me and said, you know what? I'm still afraid that I'm not sure that I'm ready for what I'm about to enter. And I said that even the day I was getting married, the night before the Saturday, I was still asking myself the question, am I sure I'm ready for this? Nobody gets married without that fear. And I put it this way, nobody gets married without the butterflies. And you know, I told me, everybody, even including the ladies, the fear is natural. But the truth is that when you begin to take steps, you find out that the fear begins to disappear. You understand? Today I can look back and I say, wow, I took the right decision. So everybody, we have that kind of fear. The truth is that it's a journey. I call it black market. You don't know what you are going to meet inside it. No one can predict, no matter how prepared you are. You don't know. It's not even about meeting needs alone. You don't even know whether it's going to succeed. You don't even know. Anything can happen inside marriage, but it's a journey that you don't have a privy to how it's going to end. But you enter by faith. And every day it opens up for you. So I want to encourage all men outside there. You can only take this by faith. By faith. Be courageous enough to start it. No matter how small you want to start. Start small. And when you start small, everything grows in marriage. Finances grows in marriage. Communication grows in marriage. Parenting grows in marriage. Sex grows in marriage. Everything has the capacity to grow in marriage. Don't be afraid. Start small.
Okay, there's some comments here. Let's just quickly take one or two before we go. Someone is saying that some people just don't believe in the institution of marriage. They never just want to get married. This one says young men are afraid of responsibilities that come with it. We've taken that. This one says, good morning to you, brothers and sisters. I'm Tijani from Okene. I really love this program. My own view is that marriage is not all about, what is he saying now? It's not all about having much. It's all about mindset and understanding from the two people involved. Good morning, my name is Mercy in Lagos and I am married. I think men shy away from early marriage because they are scared of the unknown. They do not know if they will be happy or not. For instance, I wish I am not married if what I am into is what marriage is all about and it's less than a year. Apparently she's having some issues and she's wishing that she didn't even get into that institution in the first place. Please, I want you to give me some advice. I'm into a relationship. I am confused because when we met, he told me that he has a girl that he wants to marry, but at the same time, he went on to confuse me. He calls me every day, but still with this girl. Please tell me, what does he mean? Quickly, Uncle T. He says
he has a fiancé?
Yes, she has a fiancé, but the guy has someone that he wants to get married to, but every day the guy still calls her.
The guy is a time waster.
Okay.
So, run for your life.
Okay.
Ignore him.
Yes, you need to let him tell you what he wants. He should be able to define what he wants. If it is the other girl that he wants, you should encourage him to go after the girl. But if it's you, tell him to sit down and be planning how to actually nurture the relationship. But if he's not going to do that, don't let him waste your time. He's a time waster.
All right, I think we have to go. Let me just summarize most of the messages that we have here. They all are centered on the cost of dowry in Nigeria and the need to help relatives of either of the spouse during or after the marriage. Some people went on to talk about the men who just want to perpetually be promiscuous and a whole lot of items. We must say a very big thank you to all of you who have called in and sent messages, and those who interacted on our social media platforms. We do appreciate your comments this morning, and a very big thank you to our guest, Tayo Olushola.
Thank you so much, Justin.
Thank you. It's been nice talking to you, and as usual, of course, we did say it was going to be very interesting. Well, to top up the week, of course, we know it's going to be all interesting or more interesting. Tomorrow, Friday, we will talk entertainment. So remember, it's 10 a.m. I'm Uche Onyekuluchi. Do have a splendid Thursday.
And I'm Justin Akadanye. Many thanks for being a part of the show. See you tomorrow bright and early 10 a.m. for the entertainment edition. Bye for now. you.